Hey guys, Angel Tuccy here, Denver, Colorado, in my home office. What do you think of my new artwork behind me? Right, we used to have a map of the British Virgin Islands, which was fabulous, but it didn't have enough colors. So now I've added the Denver skyline behind me. How you guys doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are doing great. I want to talk to you today about the value of a press release. Hello, Carolina. Carol, how you doing? Lucho, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Okay, so let's talk about press releases. When was the last time you submitted a press release about what's going on in your business? I recommend to my clients that you send out one a month, typically the beginning of the month. So here we are, the first of the month, we're the first of the quarter, I guess that's the only two first ofs, right? The first of the month and the first of the quarter. But let's talk about why, right? Why press releases are so valuable. Oh, yes, press release, such a nice reminder. Yes, right? Here's why. One, it keeps our PR hat on. It keeps us in that publicity mode of sharing our story, sharing our successes, sharing our milestones with what's going on. And, for many of us, we're just in the do, right? We're just doing, we go to the next thing, we check it off, and it's the next thing. And we forget to make an announcement. By the way, I just did this amazing thing. I launched this new product. I partnered with this new power partner. I've lined up with a charity. Whatever is new, and the best place to find, all that new stuff is look at your calendar, look at your to-do list. What did you do last month? And so the number one benefit, right, of putting out a press release, it's not the number one. I'll get to the number one. Maybe I'm doing like the Dave Letterman style, right? The number 4, number 10 reason is, best reason, right? 9, 8, 7. So let's just say I don't have 10 reasons. I don't have 10. I only have 4. I'm sure there's more, but for the sake of today's Facebook Live, I only brought up 4. So keeping your publicity hat on, helping us to think more in publicity versus in sales, and to share our story, to make it public, really what we're doing, keeping our PR hat on. Number 2, it reminds us of the milestones, right? Like we've really done something. Like, that's right, I forgot. I sold my 100th book. I, hit this milestone. We, hit this goal. We really are tracking. And remember, you can't measure what you don't track. So it keeps you in that space where you're just almost like a reminder for you. Yes, it's good to tell the world, but sometimes we need that, right? I need to be reminded that, I am doing a lot, right? I did just hit my 100th stage, right? Or, I did 100 cities, or 100. It doesn't even have to be like your 7th. That's okay too. Let's celebrate that. But sometimes we need that reminder for ourselves. Another great reason okay, I'll catch you later, darling. Bye-bye. I know you are doing amazing things. You are doing amazing things. Love what you are doing. Okay, so a third reason for putting out a press release every single month is it improves your SEO, your search engine optimization. When people are searching for you or that topic, or anything that's organically in that press release of what you're doing and what you're all about, you improve your SEO, your search engine optimization. Make sure that you put a Google alert for your name. So in case the story gets picked up by any online service, that you get a notification of that, because you won't get the notification. They won't tell you, hey, by the way, we're featuring your story on our website. Most of the time, they just feature your story on their website. And so when you set up a Google alert for your name, they'll send you an email notification. And anytime your stories are picked up, go to Pingler, Pingler, go to Pingler and re-ping that baby out there so it's out in the world. But here's the number one reason for creating press releases on a monthly basis. Besides the obvious of exposure, right? Besides the obvious of exposure. So often what we do for our business, we build up our brand and we put all of this together and we optimize, and it's great for people who are shopping for us, right? They're thinking about us, they're looking for us, they're shopping, they're going to the Google and they're saying, how do I, right? They're going to YouTube, how do I, and you pop up, right? That's the goal, is to have your stuff pop up. When somebody says, how do I, where do I, who does this? Like, I'm looking for something for this, and you pop up. We want to make sure, and you've probably hired people for advertising and SEO and cookies and you've done all that stuff, right? So when people are looking, they find you, okay? But what about the people who aren't looking? Who aren't today saying, how do I, or where do I? So let me give you an example. Have you ever gone to the mall, and you're at the mall, you're there for whatever reason, and while you're at the mall, you see something. You see something that you didn't go to the mall for. You weren't shopping for it at the mall, but because of where it was placed, it's in the window shopping, it was on a display, it was on wherever, now you see it and you're like, okay, now I gotta have it, right? I kind of maybe was in the market for it, or it's something that I liked, something in my wheelhouse, whatever. I'm kind of sort of like, now that I've seen it, now that it's in front of me, now I gotta have it. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't go because I wanted that, but now that I've seen it and heard about it, now I gotta have it. That's the power of media exposure. Because when somebody else is strolling around on social media and your Facebook Live pops up with you with somebody else, or they're reading a magazine, or they're looking, they're just reading other people's blogs, or they're listening to the radio, or they're doing something else, and your story shows up, you show up, your brand, your story, your message, your whatever. When you show up in that space, you now have, it's the mall effect, right? They weren't looking for you, but now they've heard of you. And because now they've heard of you, and you've got that call to action, now you can bring them into your sales funnel. And so a press release could show up, right, on a site, somebody else's story, they're reading the news, like they're out in the world doing something else, not thinking about you, and this shows up on their radar. And because now it shows up on their radar, now you have a chance to bring the mall effect, right, into your sales funnel. Does that make sense? Right? Do you see where I'm going with that? Like, we can create all of the optimization so that people who are looking will find us. But the power of media and having a media strategy that includes a monthly press release, is that mall effect, right? Even having your book posted on Amazon, because somebody who bought this, could actually, here's some other things we recommend. Here's some other things in that genre, in that category, or people who have bought this have also bought this. I wasn't even thinking about it, but now it pops up and it's on my radar that now I gotta have it, right? Now I gotta have it. Now we take them into the sales funnel. It's the best way to multiply your exposure, to scale your business, to get get those leads that you didn't even know were out there, that they didn't even know you were out there. The benefit of traditional media and having your brand on traditional media is the transfer of trust that comes from being on somebody else's platform. They trust that program, they trust that platform, that stage, that whatever. And now because you're being featured on it, that trust automatically transfers over to you. I've heard a couple stories recently where people have hired other people, but just because of their sphere of influence. Like, they saw them on their social media, or they were at their event. And so because they were there, they assumed they were endorsed by the person, leading the event or whatever, which wasn't necessarily true, but that's how the consumer thinks. They tie you to where they met you or first heard of you. And if they trust the A, then because you're a part of that, they trust B, right? And so leveraging that strategy, leveraging that exposure is key. So if you haven't done a press release this month, may I encourage you, go back to your to-do list, go back to your calendar. What did you accomplish? What is new that is newsworthy, current, compelling, critical, right? The 3 C's of a press release that you can now put out into the world. Remind yourself, one, of the milestones that you're creating every single month, right? How far your business is going, that you really are hitting those goals and milestones. 2, keeps your PR hat on, right? I think the biggest thing I do for my clients is help them create that media strategy, keeping that PR hat on. Improves your search engine optimization, right? Easily to find you. But the best reason beyond the obvious of exposure is the mall effect. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that just brightens up your day, and you think, okay, yes, I do have a story to tell. I do have something that I have been working on. I should put a press release out every single month, that first week of the month. Just put it on your radar, on your to-do list. Keep your PR hat on and keep promoting your brand. PR.com, great resource for putting out relatively free. I think it's about $30 to put out a press release at PR.com. They have add-ons if you want to put headshots and links and photos and things like that. But I always tell my clients, start with a freebie. See what kind of traction you get, because if you get the traction without spending a lot of money, then why spend it all? And if you don't, you can always go back and spend more money, right? Your brand can get just as much exposure as your budget will allow. But most of the strategies that I teach you are all about that free or super inexpensive media exposure, because we are looking as media and journalists, we are looking for more people, for fresh new content, stories that we can share to extend the story every single day. So super excited to help you. Hopefully that was helpful for you today. If you have put out a press release, put the date in. How long ago was it? Was it last month? Was it last year? Is it never? Is it going to be next week? I would love to hear that. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.